So here we are on the streets of Vice City with me, Longclaw Valerian Steel. This is a great opportunity for me to show you some of the new Definitive Edition, remastered, enhanced versions of the trilogy. I really love Vice City. I think everybody does. I mean, it's one of those iconic games. It's a real, probably for me, the first real sort of console game that I really fell in love with. I mean, it wasn't my first GTA experience, but it was the one that I really loved. And I think it's because it's so 80s, and it was really the game for me as I was getting into gaming, the one that really made the difference. And I think GTA Liberty City was the game that got me in love with the GTA idea, and Vice City was the one that really cemented that relationship that I still have with these games now. And seeing the games being remastered and enhanced, and it's just a brilliant experience for someone who loves GTA games. And I don't really see that many bugs or anything to really worry about in this game. There might be a few things, but I don't really notice it because I'm just enjoying doing the missions. And when you've played GTA a few times, you start to get to know little tricks and ways to sort of do the missions in the right way. And for me, I'm just having fun trying to remember these little tricks, like coming around the back of this building here to take out the drug dealer. That's one thing that I learned the hard way after dying many times whilst trying to figure that out. And there are a few other little things that do make the difference and can make this game a little bit easier and quicker to go through. What I really like about Vice City is that you're not overwhelmed with missions and lots of different contacts, and you know what it's like when you first start in GTA Online. There's just so much going on, so many different phone calls, text messages, notifications. You don't know where to start. And with Vice City and the earlier games, you're not in that position. I mean, even with GTA 5, there's quite a lot going on in terms of the missions and contacts and things like that. Certainly with 3 different characters. But what I like about Vice City is things are a little simpler, and you just have 2 or 3 missions from your contacts, and then you basically they disappear for a bit, and you have to explore some new contacts. Another great little tip is that when you're chasing the tank, or you're trying to get the tank for the Colonel here, it's a very difficult mission unless you approach it in this way. When they get to a certain corner, if you're early enough and get to the parade of armoured vehicles before they get to this corner, they will stop and get some donuts. And that's your opportunity to jump in the tank and drive around. And again, I learned that the hard way. I think I was trying to take that tank aggressively many times, and it blew up many times. So what I like about GTA is that there's always a way to do the mission. You can explore and have fun with the mission and figure out what is your best way to do it. And having had the benefit of having played these games before, I kind of know. I have to remember, I must admit, because it's quite a long time ago, and some of this stuff I didn't sort of discover through playing the game. I discovered it with help. Similarly, in the same way that people these days will look up on YouTube how to do something, back in the day when this game came out, there was no internet really, and not in every house anyway. I mean, you had dial-up internet available, but usually there was one computer, and you're not going to go and do that. And my console was set up somewhere, and I'd bought a book, actually, which I saw in a music store, quite a thick book, which is like a guide to completing GTA Vice City. And this guide was my everything. It told me exactly how to do everything. It also told me all the cheat codes and how to make all kinds of weird stuff happen in the game. But using this guide, I learned how to play things, and it was just written by someone who played the game, an enthusiast, and published. And I loved that kind of thing. And then, of course, now that kind of walkthrough assistance has been replaced with YouTube, content creators, things like that. But using that guide, I was able to learn how to do the missions in a certain way, and you can remember all of that. I don't know where that book is now, but I can remember the little tips and tricks. This mission as well was something that I remember struggling with it a bit, but I don't know why, because it doesn't seem that hard now when I think about it. I think because I've got a few boat missions in GTA Online, which has given me some skills and sort of how to beat the clock. You do this quite a lot when you're selling product from your MC business in GTA Online. Even in GTA 5, the story mode, you're using boats quite a lot. But in this mission, I think it was the first time I'd ever been on the water in a GTA game, and I struggled a bit to get all of the checkpoints before the time ran out. And of course, you fail then and have to go back and do it again. Whereas if you're in that GTA 5 and you're selling, you'll sell something. So I do think your skills carry over, and I've said before in some of my other videos, it's all about that controller layout for me, and the fact that you control the boat in exactly the same way as you would a boat in GTA 5 or GTAOnline means that you know what you're doing. You're not making a complete mess of it. So there you go. And I can not recommend these games enough. They are fantastic fun. If you're looking for something to ask for your Christmas, or you want something to add to your Christmas list, the GTA Trilogy is definitely worth it. Do not listen to a single person that tells you that this game is all bugged and not finished. These games have been finished for years. There's no new bugs or anything like that. They're all finished off. They didn't rush it. They just never intended to take the bugs and the glitches out. That was never their plan. They're not reformatting the games. All they're doing is just implementing a new visual to make it stand up and make it look more like the new games. So I hope you enjoy.